supposed to have very special people address the Olam, but it's rare, I think, as far as my experience in the Yeshiva, that we have Machabri Sfarim. If everyone supposed to have these Sfarim, Rabbi is very instrumental, and it's all over the world. I myself benefited from him. I consider him a Rabbi, and Rabbi also checked the Torah links, helping Bali Yeshiva. So it's very special that he's here tonight, and we're very happy that he's here. Without further ado.
Hi everyone. It's really special. I appreciate Rabbi Herz asked me to share some words of Torah with you tonight. I just want you to know, to walk in here and hear the Kol Torah with a brand, as if it's the first thing in the morning, with so much excitement. A big yeshikayach to the Olam for learning with the Slavas and Avos Torah. You can feel it in the room. It's a beautiful thing, So I wanted to share with you a little insight, take together, we have 15 minutes or so, to tell you some of the ideas that I've had a bit of a connection to, a connection to for a long time. As some of you may or may not know, I am an ophthalmologist, a retina specialist, and I deal with eye conditions. And over the years, I can tell you many stories, but we don't have enough time for it right now. But suffice it to say that it's not infrequent, where someone has a problem, and they have a visually threatening problem that presents itself on Friday or Friday afternoon or on Shabbos. And the question is, what do you do in terms of that condition, and whether you can do Machal Shabbos? We know that if you have a chayli, so a person's nafal mishkav, he's bedridden, he's sick, you can do a malacha d'rabbanan with a shinui. Just some basic principles. If someone has sakanas aver, they're going to threaten to not be able to move a hand, they can do a malacha d'rabbanan without a shinui. Any sakanas aver, but you can't do deraisa, even if it means permanent disability. But any disability of an aver, even if it's partial disability, it's considered sakanas aver. So if there's threat to vision, it's pocket that there is no question that you can violate a malacha d'rabbanan without any hesitation. You know, it's easy, there's no delay to use a guy, but there's no question you can do a d'rabbanan without hesitation for anything that's visually threatening, even if it's mildly visually threatening, like the vision won't be 20/20, it'll be 20/30. D'rabbanan, no problem. But the question is it more than a sakana saver? It's not a finger, it's your eye. And maybe it's so significant that sumachach kameis, that it's chach kameis, maybe it's bikuach nefesh. Beautiful. So the Maharshim deal with this, and they say,
vision is better, right? You can still see.
Very good response. So therefore, you clearly, if you save some vision, maybe it's not sumachach kameis. But there's another point, and that is a mitzvah is chashuv kameis, and an ani is chashuv kameis, and mishein leibanim is chashuv kameis. We don't see anywhere in Shas and Paiskin in the Chal Shabbos to help somebody, have children or not be an ani. So that is a very definite statement, but it does not have, almost according to all Mefarshim, it doesn't carry the ramifications of permitting Chol Shabbos deraisa al sumachach kameis.
Sorry, can you start again? Ani is not permanent.
Ani.
It states inside that you should be able to do Shabbos for 2 minutes.
Exactly.
But the point of someone, we don't see that those 4 criteria that are chashuv kameis determine the ability to be Mechal Shabbos deraisa. However, we come with another Gemara, and there's a very important Gemara in Avodah Zarah Chav Chesam Beis, where all the inyanim come from, because lahalacha we know that vision threatening or something about the eye or the eye has pikuach nefesh ramifications. What is that? What are those criteria? Where does it start? Where does it end? So the Gemara says like this: Chav Chesam Beis Avodah Zarah. Here we go. It's Ein Shemarda, Ha'u Amsa, Dama Bei Bar Shmuel. There was an Amsa, maidservant. There was a Jewish woman that was by Mar Shmuel. Her eye was inflamed. Savcha, she cried, and nobody listened to her. Paka Eina, her eye blew up. some Girsois have Umesa, Lamachar Nafak Marshmul V'Dorash. Marshmul came out in Darshan, Ein Shemarda, and Ein Shemarda Mutter L'Koichel B'Shabbos. You can be Koichel, you can do whatever Koichel is. The Meforshim learn that it's even Chil Shabbos Deraisa, my time, the Shuraina De'ena Be'uvnas of the Liba Talia. And there are many different interpretations of what these words mean. Shuraina De'ena, the muscles of the heart, Be'uvnas of the Liba, either with the muscles of the heart, the muscles of the eye, Shuraina De'ena, Be'uvnas of the Liba Talu, either with the muscles of the heart or the covering of the heart, or it's the vision of the eyes connected to the heart. That's what the different Rishonim deal with. So basically, like Rashi and Taisus learn that it has to do with. Rashi learns it has to do with the vision, the eyesight is connected to the tarif rashi, which is the membrane of the pericardium of the muscles of the heart. Taisus learns the havana of the understanding of the heart. Other Mefarshim learn that it's not really related to vision, it's related to something else. But Lamaisa, L'psak halacha, there is an element of the heart connecting to the eye, and eye-threatening conditions is connected to heart. Heart means life, and therefore, in la halacha, if something's threatening the eye, it has a din, not only of sakana sever, but even of pikuach nefesh. The question is,
I have a rise, because what we say every morning was the surah after the bottom explanation. So we're going to see that.
nice, right? Very nice. The question is, what eye conditions are you referring to? If somebody has a visually threatening condition, all of a sudden, chas v'shalom, they can't see. L'kulam, like you don't know what it is. It's visually threatening. It could be a systemic issue. It could be something more serious. Different achrayim explain that this vision problem could be a cardiovascular problem. It's connected to the heart. We do know strokes are sometimes manifest by blindness. People have a problem. Sometimes you'll see an eye where they lost vision. They'll see a look at the eye and it looks a certain way, pattern in the retina. They go straight to the ER for a full stroke workup. MRI, carotid ultrasound. Cardiac echocardiogram, labs, because it's a really life-threatening possible stroke entity that can happen. And that's clearly, l'chulei alma, a perfect example of this. Whether glaucoma is like that, an acute glaucoma which is threatening them and may send them into something. But the question that comes up with me is, I have a patient, they're diagnosed Friday afternoon right before Shabbos with a detached retina, or even on Shabbos. And somehow we don't know what it is, we examine, I have the guy turn on the light on my headset, I put it on, dilate them, look inside. There's the retina, it's detached, there's a hole in the retina, it's a mechanical problem. The retina, which is what you see with on the inside of the eye, it's like that's the film of the eye camera. It's got a hole in it, and the fluid goes in that hole, detaches the retina. You don't fix it soon, they'll lose their central vision. Maybe they'll lose a lot of it, maybe they'll be legally blind, maybe you'll put it back and they'll gain a lot of it, a good part of it, but not necessarily. So they may have significant permanent vision loss if I don't treat on Shabbos. If I do on Sunday, may not have the same outcome if the retina detaches more. Am I allowed to take that, me, Yiddish person, Mimchal Shabbos Deraisa, let's say, to drive to the hospital, to do the malacha that may be involved if there may be some Deraisa? For a year. Guy, that's a whole different share, what you can do for Guy. But let's get to Yiddish. And can I do that on Shabbos? Not D'Rabbanan. D'Rabbanan is no problem. So I had this problem, and in 1994, when I was studying ophthalmology, about to start my ophthalmology training a few years ago, I went there to Israel, and I went to Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, and I asked him myself. And he said, visually threatening, pikuach nefesh. I said, but it's a detached retina, how's it vision threatening? We go, I'll leave a dina de Gemara, we don't ask questions. Even one eye, vision threatening one eye, Mechal Shabbos Deraisa. No problem. Shlomo Matter. We don't see any heart connection. I see it as a mechanical hole in the retina. The Gemara tells me that a vision, that Ein Shemarda, and it could be lots of things. Mechal Shabbos Deraisa. I went to Rabbi Yashin, made an appointment. At that time he was available. You can actually sit. I sat next to him. He called me in. He walked into the room. We had a whole conversation. It wasn't like at the end of the year you give it 2 seconds. He was Rabbi Yashin. But at that time he was only 86 or so. And we had a very good conversation. So I asked him about this case of the detachment, and he just said, "You're the doctor. What do you say? Does it have any shaykhs to a life-threatening condition?" I said, "No, it's a hole in the retina." He said, "It's a hole in the retina. You know what it is? You cannot be mechal shabbos." Mom is not cuts all cuts.
Why you ask?
Why did I ask?
You think people blind?
No, I need to know what the halach is. I
So
don't
it's
ask.
always mutter.
You asked for someone down there who asked the same question. You knew you were going to get two answers.
No, they were often on the same
Shaz,
page.
the Karas Ibris is also good.
Even was normally asked.
Shachar Shaver is not pikuach nefesh.
But I'm saying,
Most
it would be not what that is.
What do you do?
What
What do you do?
Paskin,
It
right?
would be
It's
done
a
on the
Rabbanan.
right.
It's a Rabbanan. It's a Rabbanan.
That's the
Not
bottom.
a deraisa. Not a
Well,
deraisa.
sure you
And the
didn't
truth
know
is, you can
that.
often do a lot of these derabanan too. But then I went to the Shaver Levi, Rav Vosner, and he told me that if it's a serious infection, that would be a pikuach nefesh, because that fits the category of the Gemara, Rira, Ditza. There's like, it's throbbing, it's inflamed, it's tearing. That would fit the category of potential pikuach nefesh, even if it's not medically obviously life-threatening, because if someone has a cellulitis or an inflamed eye or a serious inflammation, the truth is when it's really inflamed and you don't know, it could be that it's an internal infection, and even as technically if this person has a deep tissue infection like cellulitis, even medically, halachically today, we treat that as a potential pikuach nefesh, and that completely is in concert with how we fear zach even in medicine. But the chiddush was really Rosh Zalman. He was going to the Gemara, and fortunately, I had an arrangement when I joined my practice in 2000 to never be on call on Shabbos. So really, when I'm involved on Shabbos things for eyes, it's always with Hatzalah. But I don't have these shadows come up. But it does come up not infrequently where I have to convince a patient, especially someone who's a little more of the machmer type, to go with the guy and have the guy, the doctor do the surgery on Shabbos, because you definitely have Rosh Zalman. So when we asked for Forsheimer, he said it's davar pashut. It's a sveika dedina. Even if you have two great paiskim, it's a suffix pikuach nefesh lahakol. If you have Rosh Zalman says mutter, Rav Yashin says aser, it's called a sveika dedina. Just like if you have a suffix, is this pikuach nefesh? It's not pikuach nefesh. Can I be mechal shabbos or not? You don't ask questions. If it's a suffix pikuach nefesh, even if it's a remote suffix, you're mechal shabbos. So if you have 5 paiskim who say that it's aser, and one says it's mutter, it's still that one paisik who says it's mutter is a formidable opinion. He's not just some local rabbi. He knows he's a formidable paisik. Then it's a sveika dedina. Sveika dedina also has the din of suffering the pashas lahakol. So we have an interesting kind of where you take modern medicine, you take the shaila, you analyze it, you delve into it. You have to know the facts. It's very important to know the medical facts and to present it to the Rav and to the place of the corrector. They learn the sugya the way they learn it, and it's okay. Different Gedolei Paiskim learn a sugya a different way. The Rashba may learn it different from the Rambam. That's fine. Rav Yashi can learn the sugya differently than Rosh Zalman. And it's beautiful to see how they come out lahalacha with all the depth of the sugya at their fingertips, and that way we can have a hadracha in Torah in all areas of halacha. And this is one area that's very relevant to what I do, but medical halacha is something I spend a lot of time on. The sefer that Rabbi Hirsch was referring to, and about Refuah B'Shabbos, and another one we have about hospital halachas and recovery, is something I was zeichet to learn for many years together with Rabbi and write it together and work on it together, that we publish these svarim, to be able to take something that you have a familiarity with and to be ma'ayin and develop it. So I give you all a bracha. You should be able to take these inyanim, work on them, clarify them, deal with them, be active and engaged in your learning, and that way, obviously if you can learn Kol Torah Kula, that's great. But it's brought down, take one Masechta know it, take one Inyan, be ma'ayin in it, and then you have a kinyan in Torah that's special. Whether you're going to business, whether you're going into medicine, whether you're studying, learning, whatever you're doing, you can apply your world, your life, and the world of halacha into everything you're doing in a beautiful way. I'll end with a vart that I heard today, that my good friend who learned in Eretz Yisrael years ago in Eretz Yisrael, and Rabbi Baruch Mordechai Zrachi, who was a Rosh Yeshiva, who was nifter not long ago, he said a vart, why was it that the Sarah Mashkin was zeichet to live, and the Sarayim died? And what was it in the dreams that represented one living and one dying? The Yosef maybe knew Al Pirech HaKosh, but what was it about it? So he said, the Sam Mashkin's dream, he was active. He was taking the grapes, squeezing the grapes, involved. He was active. And Sarah Eifem, his dream, he was passive, watching it all happen to him. If you're active, it means you're alive. If you're alive, you're living, you're behaving, you're engaged. If you're engaged and you're alive, it's a simon you're going to live. You're lit. You're alive and illuminated. And Sarah Eifem was like doing nothing, passive. If you let life go by you, I don't know if it's kosher kameis, but you're not as alive. So that way, the aside is that when we go through life and we have things happen to us, we have an option. We can be active, we can engage it, we can pursue it, we can try and modify it, and through that, we're alive. We contribute to ourselves, to the world around us, to the people we have with us in our families, and change the world and make it a better place. But if we just kind of ride the wave of life and just take everything as it's coming, because that's what everybody else is doing, then that's not as alive. I give you a bracha, you should be lichtig, you should be alive, you should learn well, you should grow in your Torah, and I appreciate the opportunity to share some words.
Thank you.